Tonight, on Haunted America, a rancher steps outside just before sunrise and finds his goats completely drained of blood. No tracks, no signs of struggle, just puncture wounds and silence. For nearly 30 years, stories of a mysterious predator have spread across Puerto Rico, Mexico, and the American Southwest. Witnesses described glowing red eyes, leathery skin, razor-sharp teeth, and a creature that moves unlike any animal they've ever seen before. Some say it's an undiscovered predator, and others believe it's the result of a genetic experiment gone wrong. But some believe the Chupacabra isn't an animal at all, but something far darker. Tonight, we'll explore the terrifying origins of this legend. So lock your doors, keep your pets and livestock inside, and whatever you do, do not go outside if you hear something screaming in the dark. This is Haunted America. The word Chupacabra literally means goat sucker in Spanish. The name comes from the creature's alleged habit of attacking livestock and draining them completely of blood. While stories of vampire-like creatures have existed for centuries throughout Latin America, the modern Chupacabra legend exploded in the mid-1990s, and it all began in Puerto Rico. In March of 1995, reports began surfacing from the town of Canovanas, Puerto Rico. Farmers discovered dead animals across the region: goats, chickens, rabbits, cats, and dogs. But these weren't normal predator attacks. Witnesses claimed the animal had circular puncture wounds in their necks or chest areas, and many were reportedly drained of all of their blood. Local authorities struggled to explain what was happening. At first, people suspected wild dogs, but then the killings continued, and then eventually the sightings started to roll in. Witnesses described a creature standing roughly 4 to 5 feet tall with dark gray skin, large red eyes, sharp claws, and spikes running down its back. Some said it hopped like a kangaroo, and others claimed it moved with unnatural speed. And one woman in particular would change the legend forever. One of the most famous witnesses in Chupacabra history was a Puerto Rican woman named Madeline Tolentino. According to her account, she encountered the creature near her home in August of 1995. She described seeing a bizarre humanoid creature with large almond-shaped black eyes, a small mouth, spikes going all the way down its spine, and thin arms ending in claws. Tolentino claimed the creature stared directly at her before fleeing. Her detailed description spread rapidly through newspaper and television reports. Soon, similar sightings poured in from across Puerto Rico. People reported hearing strange screeches at night. Pets were disappearing. Farm animals turned up dead in the morning. Fear spread quickly. And then something strange happened. Researchers later noticed that Tolentino's description closely resembled a creature from the 1995 sci-fi horror film Species. Specifically, the alien creature played by actress Natasha Henstridge. Some skeptics believe the Chupacabra legend may have been unintentionally influenced by the movie, but believers argue that that does not explain the dead livestock or the dozens of similar encounters reported by unrelated eyewitnesses. Whatever people were seeing, the panic was real. The small Puerto Rican town of Canovanas became ground zero for the Chupacabra phenomenon. Mayor Jose Soto became deeply involved in investigating the attacks, and unlike many officials, he publicly stated that he believed something unknown was responsible. According to reports from over time, over 100 animals were allegedly killed in the region. Witnesses claimed the bodies showed little to no blood. Some locals even formed hunting parties to search nearby forests. Armed residents patrolled roads at night hoping to catch the creature. Mayor Soto himself reportedly joined several nighttime searches. During one search, residents claimed they saw glowing red eyes in the darkness before hearing terrifying screams echo through the trees. But no creature was captured. As the story spread through television and newspapers, the Chupacabra quickly became an international phenomenon, and soon, sightings began appearing far beyond Puerto Rico. Alright guys, we'll get right back into the episode in a second, but first, I have to shout out tonight's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by one of the best sports card shops in Louisiana, AJ Sports Cards in Baton Rouge. If you're a collector, a sports fan, or someone chasing that next massive pull, you need to check out AJ's. AJ Sports Cards has an incredible collection of sealed sports card boxes from all of your favorite leagues: NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Whether you're hunting rookie cards, autographs, rare parallels, or that one grail card for your collection, AJ's has the products collectors are looking for. And for all the Pokemon fans out there, they've got you covered too. AJ's carries sealed Pokemon products, booster boxes, ETBs, packs, and collectibles that are perfect for both serious collectors and casual fans looking for the thrill of opening something rare. Not into ripping packs? No problem. AJ Sports Card also has a huge selection of singles, so you can track down that exact card without relying on luck. From vintage legends to modern superstars, there's always something incredible waiting in the shop. The best part? AJ's isn't just a store, it's a community. Whether you've been collecting for years or you're just getting started, you'll find a welcoming atmosphere filled with people who love the hobby just as much as you do. So if you're anywhere near Baton Rouge, Louisiana, make sure to stop by AJ Sports Cards and see what everybody's talking about. Rip some packs, find your next favorite card, and experience one of Louisiana's top spots for sports cards and Pokemon collectibles. Tell them Haunted America sent you. Now, turn the lights down low, because it's time to get back to the shadows and stories of Haunted America. By the late 1990s, Chupacabra sightings had spread into Mexico, Chile, Nicaragua, Argentina, and eventually the United States. In Mexico, reports became especially intense. Farmers described discovering goats and chickens mutilated under mysterious circumstances. In some villages, people became too afraid to let livestock remain outside at night. One witness from rural Mexico described hearing an unearthly scream before finding several goats dead the following morning. Another claimed to see a creature with glowing eyes leap over a fence with impossible speed. The descriptions, however, began changing. Instead of a reptilian humanoid creature, many witnesses now described something more canine, hairless, thin, with leathery skin and an elongated snout. The new version of the Chupacabra would become the dominant image in the United States. In the early 2000s, ranchers across Texas began reporting sightings of bizarre hairless animals attacking livestock. Photos emerged showing strange-looking creatures with gray skin, sunken eyes, and patchy fur. In 2004, a rancher in Elmendorf, Texas, claimed a mysterious creature killed dozens of chickens. Then, in 2007, a woman named Phyllis Canyon captured national attention after discovering strange animal carcasses on her ranch near Cuero, Texas. One of the creatures was shot and examined. DNA testing later suggested the animal was likely a coyote suffering from severe mange, but not everyone was convinced. Witnesses insisted the creature behaved unlike any normal animal. Some described glowing eyes. One reported unusual aggression and bizarre movements, and despite scientific explanations, stories continued. One Texas rancher claimed he saw a creature standing on two legs before dropping to all fours and disappearing into the bush. Another described hearing low growls outside his barn before discovering dead chickens the next morning. Even today, Texas Chupacabra sightings still occur. One of the most disturbing elements of the Chupacabra legend involves the claim that victims are drained of blood. This detail transformed the creature from a simple predator into something almost supernatural. Veterinarians and wildlife experts have challenged these claims for years. They argue that after death, blood often pools internally or coagulates, making carcasses appear bloodless. Additionally, puncture wounds can be caused by scavengers or natural predators. But some cases remain strange here. Witnesses have described perfectly round puncture wounds with little surrounding damage. Others insist there were no signs of struggle. And then there are reports involving multiple animals killed in a single night without being eaten. This behavior doesn't match most natural predators. Could fear and folklore be influencing interpretations? Possibly. But for those who experience these incidents firsthand, the terror remains oh so real. One Puerto Rican farmer claimed he heard his goats screaming in the middle of the night. When he ran outside with a flashlight, he saw what he described as a dark figure crouched over one of the animals. He claimed the creature turned towards him with glowing red eyes before sprinting into nearby trees. The goat later died from puncture wounds to the neck. The farmer refused to let his children outside after sunset for months. In rural Mexico during the late 1990s, a family reported hearing scratching noises outside their home. The father grabbed a rifle and stepped outside. Near the chicken coop, he reportedly saw a thin creature with long arms and reflective eyes staring at him. He fired once. The creature allegedly let out a shriek unlike anything he'd ever heard before, and then it disappeared into the darkness. The next morning, several chickens were found dead. A Texas rancher reported seeing a strange hairless animal crossing his property late one evening. At first, he thought it was a sick dog, but then it stood still and stared directly at him. He later described the eyes as almost human. The animal reportedly moved with an awkward, unnatural gait before vanishing into the brushland. Weeks later, livestock deaths were reported nearby. Scientists and wildlife experts generally believe the chupacabra can be explained through misidentification and folklore. Many chupacabra carcasses tested over the years turned out to be coyotes, dogs, or, believe it or not, even raccoons, just suffering from mange. Mange causes severe hair loss, thickened skin, and a sickly appearance that can make familiar animals look monstrous. Additionally, fear and media coverage can amplify local legends. Once the chupacabra entered popular culture, people may have interpreted unexplained livestock deaths through that lens. But skeptics still struggle to explain every report, especially sightings involving humanoid creatures in Puerto Rico during the 1990s. The original Puerto Rican descriptions differ dramatically from the canine versions seen later in the United States, which raises a strange possibility. Were there actually two separate legends that just happened to merge together? Some researchers believe the chupacabra may be connected to UFO activity. In Puerto Rico, reports of strange lights in the sky sometimes coincided with chupacabra sightings. Witnesses described glowing orbs hovering over forests and fields shortly before livestock attacks occurred. Conspiracy theories quickly followed. Some claimed the creature was an extraterrestrial life form. Others believed it was a biological experiment that escaped from a secret lab. There's no evidence supporting these theories, But the overlap between UFO reports and cryptid sightings has fueled speculation for decades. And Puerto Rico itself has long been associated with paranormal stories involving UFOs and unexplained phenomena. For believers, the Chupacabra it might represent something beyond ordinary biology. The Chupacabra over time has become more than just a cryptid. It became a cultural icon. Movies, television shows, books, documentaries, even video games. The legend spread worldwide. Today, the Chupacabra stands alongside creatures like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster as one of the world's most famous cryptids. But unlike ancient legend passed down for centuries, the Chupacabra is uniquely modern. It emerged during the age of television and mass media. People watched it spread on TV in real time. Fear traveled from town to town through news broadcasts and eyewitness interviews. And even now, new sightings continue to appear online every single year. So what is the Chupacabra? A misunderstood animal? A mass hysteria phenomenon? A modern myth born from fear and media influence? Or is there truly something stalking remote farms and forests after dark? Maybe the answer lies somewhere in between. Because even when science explains some cases, the legend of the Chupacabra still survives. And that legend survives for a reason. Somewhere tonight, a rancher may wake to the sound of animals screaming. Somewhere, someone may look out into the darkness and see glowing eyes staring back. And somewhere, another Chupacabra story may already be beginning. Thank you for listening to Haunted America. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a review wherever you listen. And remember, just because something sounds impossible doesn't mean it isn't real. Until next time, stay safe and stay haunted.